many blessings. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nela Ma'at, and today we're going to be channeling messages from our beloved ancestors and our lovely Mother Earth. So, setting clear intentions right now, I consciously open myself to receiving messages for those whose heart and minds are open to receiving. And I decree divine protection in all directions through all vessels, all vehicles. Let it be your will, Creator, Source, Mother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The storm should pass. Things are temporary. There's a message of, there's confusion, or there might be emotional upheaval. For some of you, there's a period of confusion, doubt, or I'm going through questioning. There's a lot, I don't know. It's kind of foggy for some people. There's like a lot going on, right? So there's a sense of there's a storm, and I had to find my center. So there's a lot of feeling, there's a lot of emotion, there's lots of desires and wants. And now the storm is here, and I have to, like I said, find my center. So just like a Buddha, I must sit, connect with my breath, release worry, tension. This storm should pass. Clarity is on the way. A period of change, growth, transitioning. I'm seeing the symbol of Jupiter and Pluto. Pluto brings transformation, okay? So they're speaking about a deep transformation. The need to surrender and find acceptance within our current circumstances. And now, okay, let me see how I put these messages. Okay, so in life, right, there are periods of times to where we have to rest, and there are periods of time to where we have to be active, right? There are cycles to life, and so they're speaking about cycles of life, a process of transitioning, a process of preparation, right? So I can honor, can I honor my journey? Can I have awareness of where I stand? However, it is important to know that being passive does not mean not acting, not nurturing, not attending and showing up to life, right? So we want to not go to extremes, and they're saying, we have to learn to go with the cycles. However, life brings challenges, and there are responsibilities, and there are things that we must attend to. And so how are we showing up when the cycles are present? And what is the cycle that you're currently in? Okay? And now there's mixed messages because there's different people listening. So I have to translate this in different ways. And I hope that it's making sense, because I'm just channeling the messages, my love. And so I want you to become the witness of your own process and to ask yourself, am I showing up for myself? How am I showing up? Do I have responsibilities? What are they? How do I feel about my life? How do I feel about where I want to go? And they're showing me a garden. Are you gardening? Are you clearing what needs to be clear? Are you tending to the soil? What is the weather like? What is the internal weather like? If there's a storm, well, maybe I meant to be introspective. If there's fog, and maybe I have to write things down and just slow down. It is about flowing with life and understanding cycles of growth and life. And yeah, and then there needs to be deep listening, because this journey is going to grant you a period of grace to where you have to show up, for some people. Jupiter, well, Jupiter is wisdom, which means, some of you are being asked to study, to create new systems, to create new ways, to be teaching, to be guiding, to be expanding when it comes to your gifts and your talents, and then adding to your life the skills that you have been collecting during your life. Because spirituality is life. Life is spirituality. It's time to break with those boxes to where people think that spirituality is just talking about it, talking about it, talking about it. It's time to be about it. You have to integrate your spiritual principles and values to your day-to-day life, right? So it's time to move beyond the mental and the talking, because if I am in the mental, well, a person can live in the mental, but then in their lives there are no changes. So they're saying, you have to call yourself up into integrity, and like, what is life asking you for? How are you showing up for spirit? Where are you being guided to go? Are you stepping into it? Okay, cool. All right, so here we have accepting change and moving on with the Six of Spades. So yeah, this is it, right? This is about finding harmony and not going into extremes in life. The number 6 is going to say, how are you showing up in your day-to-day life, right? Once again, I don't want to repeat myself. So ask yourself, what aspects of my life need attention right now? Okay? Cool. So we have the King of Clubs, we have the Queen of Spades, we have the 10 of Clubs. With reevaluate your relationship with finances and resources, right? The King of Clubs is a powerful communicator. He have lots of ideas, is very creative, spontaneous, not afraid to be bold, to be right, resilient, is assertive, right? The King of Clubs, yeah, he is going to protect what he needs to protect. So remember, right, we have masculine and feminine. So how is your masculine showing up right now, right? Are you creating the system, the routine, or whatever that's needed in order for you to cultivate your life and to protect your divine feminine, who desires what? Well, she desires to create, because she comes this Queen of Spades. She wants to create. And they're looking at each other. So she's saying, I have all these ideas, and you have these ideas, and it's time to put things into perspective. How are we going to do this? How can we start implementing? Well, I have to learn about this. Oh, well, okay, I have the skills when it comes to that. So I'm hearing a strategy, right? How are we strategizing life? And yes, this is really about taking accountability and responsibility for our lives too. You know what I mean? This is breaking free from dependency, financial dependency. This is about magnetic and electric, right? Having a clear intentions, clarity of mind, of thoughts. This is also, I'm feeling into it, and I'm not afraid to transform. I'm not afraid to transform. Okay. We have this number 2 spades. So there's a desire for partnership, for union, for coming together. Okay, so there's like I said, there's this energy for some of you of doubt and confusion. Where I'm going, I don't know what's gonna happen. There's a lot of that. So this energy feels like this little storm, but the storm, the fog, the confusion, the doubt, the crisis bring opportunities for clarity, right? So it's not something bad or negative. It goes into being negative when we become passive or lazy, or when fear takes over, when we settle, when we don't practice critical thinking, when we're just a follower, but then what we're following is just like distorted knowledge. So there's a need to reevaluate and be very frank and really go deeper, right? Pluto, I'm hearing. So Pluto is going to say, you have to transform, and you have to transform your being. It's not just about your mindset. However, we have to review our beliefs. What are my beliefs? What are my spiritual values? What is important to me? What are my priorities? What am I, like I said, where's the spirit guiding me? And how can I improve so I can show up for the spirit, right? If this is my life purpose, then I have to show up for spirit, right? I'm being asked to show up in some kind of way. So this 10 here is saying, your finances can prosper. However, we have to get out of our comfort zone. There's another 10, and this is the 10. Oh, another 10 of clubs. So we have two 10 of clubs. So communication here is very important. All right, communication. Some of you are great when it comes to managing business, creating systems, creating, I don't know, I'm hearing formats. This is about also activating a healthy sense of ambition. Okay, what are you ambitioning for your life too? Some of you have people skills, very good social skills, okay? We have this J of diamond. My throat getting very itchy. So this is about change, managing our focus, thinking about, like I said, expansion, growth. If I am discontent in one place, all right, well, what is going to be the strategy? Am I ready to make a choice and move somewhere else where I can prosper? So there are lessons related to people attachments, to things being certain ways. So this journey is going to require for you to shift your being. That's why reevaluating your belief system is so important. If I am overly identified with my skin color, with the culture, with, if I'm overly also attached to my family, and I'm carrying all these extra burdens, and that can become something that will keep you in a loop of traditions that might not be working for you anymore because the time has changed. There might be lessons about learning to accept others and receive help. There might be lessons related to the inner child that might be attached to certain traditions and ideas of things being one way, because then it's creating a comfort zone, and now I'm using it to justify the why I'm here settling down and not really activating my leadership and using my full potentiality, because I'm freaking afraid to get out of my comfort zone, because maybe I have problems with relationships. I'm afraid of intimacy, of closeness. Or maybe I'm very harsh when it comes to my judgment. I have lots of judgments and expectations, and now project that into people. So there's a lot here to reevaluate. This is the real work. This is work, right? There's an energy here of having to integrate and really challenge tradition, right? One thing is to honor tradition. How we honor it is another thing. And are you overly attached to all of these ideas, the ancestor Mother Earth is saying there's a shift, and we must balance feminine and masculine. And it is important when reevaluating life and looking back at the past to see the imbalances within interactions and families. There's sometimes, there's sometimes these ways to where we as humans, like I said, we go to extremes. And when we look back, we fantasize about our ancestors and our families being perfect. Everything was perfect. Everything was great. Everything was this. We have to review that. We have to get the inner child in check. We have to look at unhealthy behaviors. We have to look at the polarity and duality of life. And we have to look at our ancestors and our family dynamics with what? Spiritual understanding, with discernment, which means I have the capacity to place things into perspective, right? So emotions and logic. I can find a way to analyze things. Like, for example, okay, well, I can look at my ancestors and see that there was a lot of alcoholism. That doesn't mean that they find them and they're now bad people. No, but can I look at that and see it for what it is? And do I have the capacity to then look within me and ask myself, well, that's something I have to change? Is that something that also created consequences? did it affected my inner child? Did it affected my family dynamics? So it's time to go deeper and to dig deeper and to then think about where are we in our journey, where do we want to go, and how do we want to integrate the past right here, right now. Because if we're just fantasizing and trying to like, okay, rose colored glasses, my ancestors were perfect and they were like, oh my goodness, oh my God. And now what happens? We bring the shadow that we don't want to acknowledge and see that existed within our family, and now we're projecting it into the world, into others. So it's time to really reevaluate and analyze, how am I integrating my ancestry? How am I integrating culture to how am I integrating labels and narratives? All of it, everything must be reevaluated, and that's the message that's coming in very strongly right now. Because you must integrate all of it, our humanness. And in order for us to integrate the world and to really transition into a new way of existing and manifest real healing, heal our ancestry, our tree of life, we have to look up healthy behaviors, the beauty and the mess, all of it, and recognize that as humans, nobody's perfect, and that we have all plays a part when it comes to life. And they are speaking about the ancestors, Mother Earth, everything have served a purpose. So can you integrate the past, feel and move through the sorrow, the despair, the anger, just injustice, and all of that, give it away and integrate your humanness by looking at humanity and seeing it for what it is. So that was deep, and I'm just going to keep moving, because if not, I'm going to keep going. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so 8 of Hearts, Ace of Hearts, and the 4 of Diamonds. And that's all that I just channeled, literally, without looking at the energies. This is it. If you want a new beginning, if you really want to activate your wealth, your prosperity, activate your purpose, you have to embody spirituality, and life is spirituality, and so you have to embody light and shadow, right? You have to integrate, you have to become aware of it. There needs to be a breaking down the old structures, the old ways of seeing things, the old dynamics that are no longer serving us. And it's time to reevaluate, because we're being asked to evolve when it comes to all kind of relationships. And so this is not just about healing our relationship with the Creator, healing our relationship with ourselves, but also healing our relationship with others and with the world. And now I'm seeing a spiral, and I'm just hearing, in order to wrap it up and move forward. All right. Well, this is all I got for you guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. Let me know if this resonated. Listen, I know that my work is very different, but I'm not here to make things up. Okay, I'm here with great reverence. All right. May you be blessed on your journey. Ciao, ciao.